Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of my baggage droppers around the world, welcome to another episode of the Drop Your Baggage podcast, where we talk to people that are dope, that can give you hope, and show you a technique that can help you cope. I am your host, the self-talk engineer. If you are right here, right now, on a Facebook or YouTube platform, please give me a thumbs up. You can go ahead and comment and share on this podcast. And if you're on a podcast platform, give a brother 5 stars and some feedback as well. Now, today, I am excited to have an amazing conversation with this lady right here. This is Diana Cheng. Now, Diana is a certified Watsu practitioner practicing Watsu hydrotherapy in Vancouver, Canada. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's Watsu? Now, Watsu promotes deep relaxing, quieting the sympathetic nervous system, and enhancing the parasympathetic nervous systems. Diana's Watsu practice has profound benefits for physical and emotional trauma. Her specialty is in calming and resetting the nervous system so that it does not get stuck in a hyper vigilant state, kind of like mine is all the time. And Diana is dedicated to showing her clients that our minds, our bodies, and our nervous system can learn. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Diana Cheng. What's up, Diana?
I really love how dramatic you are.
What do you mean? It's just
it's just so alive. It's like watching a live show.
Oh, you are so silly. Well, I mean, I like to bring a little bit of energy into the podcast to begin it out. You know what I mean? And honestly, you're so damn chill, probably because of all the hydrotherapy you do, that I gotta bring the energy to this podcast today.
Yes, I just got out of the water. My hair is still a little wet. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I can totally tell. As soon as I got on the camera with you, I'm like, oh, she just got out of the water.
Sometimes I just wear the bathrobe for Zoom. I don't have time to get changed.
Thank you so much for not wearing the bathrobe for the podcast. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I dress up for you.
Yes, in a tank top. I appreciate it. So, Diana, please tell us your story on how you got started with Watsu. And like, I'd love for you to also break down Watsu as well, because I'm probably like a lot of the listeners right now and don't really have a whole lot of experience with it too.
Yeah, Watsu stands for water shiatsu. The most special thing is it is done in body temperature. And people who have been in a very hot days probably not surprised how tiring it is to be in a hot day, right? Because we're warm-blooded animal, we need to function. Our enzymes and everything need to function at body temperature. So the body would exhaust a lot of energy to regulate to that temperature. And that's actually quite exhausting, especially when it's hot, right? On the flip side, if it's taken care of if you immerse your whole body in body temperature as if you're in your mother's womb, that part of the brain just quiet down, right? One less job to do, right? And in a Watsu session, you'll be massaged. Actually, most people who practice Watsu, they are LMT, which is in the US, like licensed massage therapists. They like to retire into the water so it's easier on their body. And so you receive massage, is shiatsu. So we'll work on your meridian acupoints just to make you feel really good. I add energy healing to it. It's a very natural thing to do because I was an energy healer before I do Watsu. Now I hardly work on land. I mostly do my energy healing in the water.
Which is it's a special element too, because of the different frequencies that you can carry through the water as well. And like there with the free, I'd imagine that the frequency can carry probably faster through the water than it can. Well, maybe not, because touch. Yes,
because I'm an electrical engineer actually by education. And water is a better conductor than air. So if anyone is familiar with the release from the body, I see the release a lot more pronounced, profound, more frequent in the water. So I learned a lot about energy healing in the water as if I have a biofeedback machine. that I learned in the water, hey, if I look at the client in a certain way, they jump because there's a release, right? If I quiet my mind to a certain quietness, the client also release more, right? So you learn through this biofeedback of this really good medium called water for energy healing. So my energy healing technique, actually, it's way better. Like I learned the less you do, the less agenda you have, the less shit you have in your body and your brain, the better it is. It's almost like those clients who come here to play and allow me to play have the best session.
Yeah.
It's like out of the world session.
You both have that, are in that creative space, if you will.
Yes.
Open-minded, open heart.
Yes. It's a dance together. It's like when you're drunk, you cook the best kind of a idea. You're not worrying about anything.
Yeah.
You don't have like, I come to Watsu, what's my ROI? I want to get rid of this specific illness, right? And everybody has an agenda. Right? You come here, you just want to have an experience, somehow those sessions is the most miraculous.
And by them also being open-minded to having whatever just go that way, do they also feel better for the ailment that they're there for? Yeah.
Because what you think is your biggest pain is not necessarily your true biggest pain.
Touché.
Right?
Yeah.
An exploration process. Now, how do we explore? We need to first let go. Let go of all the things that we're taught. Let go of all the belief that we have, even though it has worked 1,000 times before, right? To let go of this box, the known, and go to the possibility and the unknown. You really need to forget even who you are.
Yeah.
So when I have couples, sometimes because of the convenience of the ride, they want to go one after another. Fair enough, right? But I found that if I let them stay in the gazebo, which is a changing room right beside my pool, just the fact that one of them feel the presence of the other, remind them of the old self, it affects the whole exploration process.
Oh, it's
right? Make so much sense, right? So from then I have 2 couples are like that. That's like such a clear message to me that I just kick the other guy out. It's like it's approximately 1.5 hours. I will text you, just go to a nearby cafe, right? Just don't be here. And the best is actually, just do separate ride, because the ride itself is like a mega trip. A lot of people told me that they figure out so much or they cry on their way here. I just joke with them, okay, you don't need Watsu anymore. You're good.
You already did release. It's all good.
Right? It's the intention of opening up and quieting down. And this is the time for me to reflect. It's the best way to learn.
So, I mean, the importance of the water is just for the pure relaxation and getting in touch with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh, water is magical.
Yeah.
Not only because this is an element that we're made from, but also, so the difference between Watsu and the float tank is the float tank is stationary. There's a buoyancy force that's pressing you all the time. You actually feel it. In Watsu, we actually observe the subtle movement of you, and I go with you. So you're constantly moving. What quiet the mind is movement. A moving mind calms down. Think about when you're walking, when you're driving, when you're doing something that is simple enough, like washing dishes. That's when ideas come, right?
Yeah.
Because it set you off to that meditative mode.
Yeah.
And it's very powerful when we are in that state for a long time. So I do some martial arts, and the teacher from Japan said that the top samurai, the swordman, said that if you can focus for 3 continuous seconds, anyone, he's the top samurai in the world. If you can focus for 3 continuous seconds, you beat me, right?
Why?
That means we think we're focusing for a long time. I meditate for 1 hour. It's like how much of that you're actually staying in that focus state. Not as long as you think.
Touché.
right?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Not according to this top summary.
So like with that focus, okay. So you're talking about the body moving. Let's go back to that because you don't move very fast when you're in the water though. You're moving at a very slow pace.
Yeah.
Why is that so significant?
So it is not the speed, it's the presence.
Yeah, right. And that's why when you have a thought, the person can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Because your thoughts holds a frequency that is being moved through the water that then the person can feel.
Now, if you hold that thought in a sustained and relaxed manner, you have a standing wave. It's some energy that is continuous. Therefore, when we manifest, it needs to be real. So say if I want to have more love in my life, the easiest way is to give love or to think about love.
Right.
So I don't care if you think about junk food, strawberry ice cream or whatever, but it needs to be real. Because if it's not real, your brain is busy fighting to make it real or pretend it's real. It's exhausting. But if it's truly real, it doesn't need to be that big.
So you're talking about real as in a belief?
Yes. When we're manifesting something, right? Say I want to be as tall as you, right? There are all the belief that is like, oh, I'm already this age, I cannot, right? So what if I can find one little piece of evidence that I can do it? It's literally I have real medical record that I went from 5'1" to 5'2".
That's crazy.
Okay, that's a real thing.
Are you sure it's just not your posture, or you just have better posture now?
It could be posture, but to me, in my world, that is real medical evidence.
Of course.
Right? So however it is, it doesn't need to be real to Charles. It doesn't need to be real to my mom. It does not need to be real to my culture. It needs to be real to me.
Exactly.
To me, like, dude, that's real.
Yep, you made that happen.
Yeah. So then I can hold on to that thought without questioning. And I can continue to feed energy in a very relaxed and sustainable way. And the next thing, I may gather another evidence, right? That, oh, if you do a Aldoa or something, that would get you even taller, right? One step at a time, we can build up new evidence for ourselves and spiral up bigger and bigger.
So when you're working with the parasympathetic system and you're trying to get somebody out of that hypervigilant state, you are teaching them a new way or a new belief that they need to have in order to live that new life. But you're not necessarily teaching them though.
I'm not teaching them.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not
just
teaching them.
Quieting your overthinking, which is your anxiety, and quieting your overwhelmed feelings by taking you to a meditative state, by moving you continuously. Now, when you move continuously, I say it's more correct that you're not in a guided meditation, you're actually forced to meditate.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? It's like when your baby's in the car moving, it's like stronger than guide. Right? Because there is some sort of a disorientation when we are in the water. Right? So if you don't get seasick, you'll get to that meditative state. And it's a state between sleeping and not sleeping. You're like kind of in and out. Right? But you do let go of a lot of things, like all the busy thoughts, right? So one big clientele I have is high functioning ADHD adults. Like for them, it's very hard to be this quiet. Like very common description after the Watsu session is like, wow, I've never felt this quiet. General anxiety disorder also, to them, like I have someone who wrote me a Google review lately that he was speechless really for a long time after the session because the brain is a lot more quiet and the pain is exhausting and it's very noisy. Right? So like he was really speechless for a very long time after. So how Watsu does it is through disorientation, even though we never advertise we disorient you, but like taking you there. Keep moving the whole time, right? And even in stillness, we are sending you for the whole 1 hour a lot of love in the form of a non-verbal language. you're being cradled, like your head is on my elbow crook.
Mm-hmm.
This is your pillow, and I'm holding you, and it's acceptable for you to receive that level of love and intimacy, which is a quality human connection.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you drown. So you accept being held by me like that.
Mm.
That position we have been learned and wired is we are unconditionally loved.
Yes. Yep. It's because you're being literally held like a baby.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
So I put, for example, somebody very dense like you, I would put more, it's like a very expensive strip of foam around your thigh and your calves to keep floated, right? But then I will hold your head at a level that you feel very careful. It's always in between your eyes and your ears here, right? Like to be that precise continuously for a long time, you're being cared for.
100%.
Right.
You're also feeling like me. If I were to step into a pool with you and you were to tell me, okay, it's time for you to lean back and put these under your legs and put your head on my elbow, I would feel extremely vulnerable. I would feel extremely vulnerable. Like I'm sure that the old me, like me from maybe 8 years ago, would want to start crying. You know what I mean? Because all of this rush of vulnerability would just be rushing through me. I'm like, what the hell is it? Like, I'm a man. She ain't supposed to be holding me. I'm supposed to be holding her,
Therefore, it's about trust.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To be vulnerable is just to be authentic, but the difficult part. Right?
Yep.
It's easy to say, oh, I'm so happy. It's not easy to say, I'm not so happy today. Right? Both are true, right? And to practice vulnerability, you need to feel safe enough.
Yes.
And water is another element, as well as the practitioner, to help people feel safe.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that you say, hey, what am I learning here for this 1 hour? I would say to learn that the world is safe.
Man, that is something foreign as hell, because in the world that we live in right now, a lot of people would highly disagree with you on that. They'd be like, man, I gotta block my doors and I gotta worry about my kids, or I gotta worry about my bills, or I gotta worry about, the economy, the world politics, all these other things. And you're saying, yo, no, all that stuff doesn't matter. The world is actually safe. You are safe in your world as well.
Yeah. Yes.
That right there takes a difference of thinking and a difference in the belief.
Yes.
And a shift in beliefs. What's so impressive is like you're doing also like an induction. You know what I mean? You ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza? So what Dr. Joe does in his book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he does a body part induction, to where you sit down and you're meditating and you're imagining. You can do it one of two ways, but the one way that I love to do it is to imagine your like water coming from your toes all the way to over your body. And that is to make your brain waves go from, I believe, alpha to beta, so you can communicate with the subconscious mind a whole lot easier. And that's exactly what you're doing, but you're doing it with actual water. You're getting in touch with the parasympathetic nervous system and at a fast rate, and then taking your time, your sweet time, in order to make someone feel safe and vulnerable, so they can shift their subconscious to make sure that they know, or to shift their subconscious to a new belief that the world is safe.
Yes. And you learn it from your body.
Yes.
And that's the powerful part, because I can talk to you that the world is safe. And because you truly believe it's not, you just constantly say, this is bold, right?
Yeah. And not just that, but also with your work with healing energy as well. Because if it doesn't come from you, if you were just me and I didn't know like all the techniques, and I'm just holding somebody and like not relaxed, and I didn't have that healing energy in my heart, then of course somebody can't feel vulnerable, somebody can't feel safe. But with you have that energy of love emanating from you within the whole like area there within this whole
I think
space.
you touch a very important point.
Yeah.
Is you're saying that I cannot emit that because I'm not relaxed, right? So what if you're relaxed, right?
Yeah.
So parents with anxiety
Yeah.
know that they are affecting their child. They are,
100%.
right? They mirror
Yeah.
your anxiety,
Yeah.
even if they're not in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
So the most loving thing that you can help your child to be less anxious is actually help yourself. It's actually caring for yourself, whatever your way of de-stressing it is, and get out of that anxiety mode yourself first.
That's real. That's real. Heal
Yeah.
people, like hurt people, right? And that's talking about the trauma that we all experience. We carry that over to somebody, some way, shape, or form. But also healed people can help heal people as well. I mean, and us as healers, we do that. You know what I mean? That's our passion in the long run. That is so true. I see it on like me being a teacher and just somebody that is around people with kids. I see it all the time. You know, somebody with kids, their kids have some of the mental disadvantages, if you will,
Yeah.
that they have when
Yeah.
I mean, because they're just in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how did you get into Watsu, yo?
Oh, I was doing energy healing on land before, and then I did a lot of concussion because I'm not covered by any insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
concussion is one thing that it's not very well served by the covered stuff, the covered services, right? So because energy can go through other structure, right? Like, do you remember cordless phone? It goes through walls, right?
Touche.
Your cell phone go through walls, right? So your wall could be your skull, right? So energy goes through your skull,
Mm-hmm.
and it can calm the brain and relax the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's relaxed, it has something called the glymphatic system. It's like your lymphatic system, but the glymphatic system in your brain to flush out the toxin.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened mostly during our sleep. But if our sleep it's not well quality and we're not sleeping enough during a concussion recovery period, then this really helped them to drain the toxin.
So the Watsu helps them, or the Watsu helps them drain the toxin, or the energy healing. Energy
Yeah,
healing.
I do it in the water, right?
Gotcha.
So one of my concussion clients she tried everything, and I said, "What works?" And she said, "Watsu." I said, "What's that?" And in Vancouver we have a hospital called GF Strong, and they have Watsu there, and that's how she got it. And yeah, and I was like just dragging with my personal trainer in the pool for like a year before I took the plunge to get, because I can only get training outside where I live. It's like a lot of not just the training money, but also the flying, the accommodation stuff, right? So then I get certified, and like I'm so in love with this thing.
All right. So like there had to be something. There had to be a moment. There had to be a moment. There had to be a thing where you're like, yo, I gotta shift away from energy, like tradition or the old energy healing that you were doing to Watsu. What was that moment? What happened where you're like, yo, Watsu is it?
I think when I was taking the class, we feel great.
Yeah.
Right? Like giving energy healing feels great.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Right? And doing it too much though, it's not good for me. So I'm limiting the number even more now. Right? Like I think it applies to anything you do, right? You love doing something, but there is a point of too much of that in your life.
Yeah.
It's not good, right? So if we just for a second allow ourselves to be selfish, what if everything I do is actually for myself? Even though in my value, I have loving others, giving to others, and helping others as a part of my value. But it's actually to nourish myself, helping people in a way that I love and I'm capable of is actually nourishing myself.
Amen.
What if we stop it that way? It become a lot more honest. Yeah, too much Watsu is not good for me. So I'm not going to do too much.
Yeah.
Right? Exercise too much is not good for you too. You know, everything there is a break point.
Mm-hmm. So like what you're saying is like that it just made you feel so damn good. And do you think it's more effective?
Oh, way more effective.
Yeah, so it made you feel really good.
Yeah.
It's more effective. And so since it's more effective, you can do more with less. So therefore, you're taking care of yourself because you're not doing as much energy healing.
Yeah.
And you're also caring for your clients as just as much as you always wanted to in the first place.
Yes. And besides trauma, I feel that one of the biggest application for Watsu is effective stress recovery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about stress resilience. We all have a stress resilient window at any moment, right?
100%.
If you go above that, we have symptom. You have headache, you feel like not balanced, right?
Right.
You just feel like more and more dysfunctional,
Mhm.
right? Now, if we get stressed over that threshold, right, we'll have a recovery period, right?
Right.
Whatever your way of recovery is, sleeping, playing soccer, go have a vacation, yoga, whatever, right?
Right.
Then you recover. Then next time, after this quiet period, you can stress yourself again.
Yeah.
But the resilience window, if you recover properly, it actually get bigger. So you can take more stress, right?
Hmm.
It's like your muscle like to stress to go bigger, right?
Okay.
Our mental power is like that.
Uh-huh.
So it's our stress resilience.
So you kind of build your resilience or resolve by taking care of yourself. The more that you take care of yourself, the more that stress resilience expands. And so you can take more and you don't have to vacation or do whatever as much.
Yeah, your stress resilience would become a bigger window. You live bigger
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
allow enough recovery, whether that be training for a sport or anything.
Or sleeping. Mhm.
Yeah, we're talking about the nervous system here
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now, right? So on the other hand, if say I'm a lawyer, right?
Mhm.
I'm in a trial. I'm not gonna freaking go yoga in the middle of it. I need to be stuck in a hotel and think about this case to the nth degree, right?
Right.
So you go above the stress resilient window and you just keep going.
Right.
Boom. The recovery period is so long.
Yeah.
Now to the extreme for people with chronic fatigue syndrome, it's most of the time is they're working way beyond that threshold for way too long.
Yeah.
So the body is like, boom, you're dumb. I'm gonna shut you down.
Exactly.
Right? So you learn how to recover properly.
So that's where they can get anything from an autoimmune disease, or they can just get really, really sick, or they can suffer from an injury because they're not resting the correct way, or it's just overstress.
Yeah, many ways our body and the universe give us messages, right?
Amen. Right.
So if we recover in a more efficient way,
Yeah.
then you have more training time. You have more time to stress yourself and your stress resilient window get bigger. It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a very good deal. It sounds like a very good deal.
Yeah, like to be a good athlete, it's about maximizing the training period, right?
Yeah.
So you need efficient recovery. Watsu is actually used by like hockey players. There's a guy in Poland, he floats Olympians.
So a person over in Poland, he floats Olympians for them or over there in
For their recovery.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing though, like recovery has definitely been it's expanded its horizons. More and more people are cupping, more and more people are doing acupuncture, more and more people are doing massages. There's more and more people are doing the hyperbolic chambers, yeah. So it's expanding. So to see that Watsu is being used by Olympic athletes is fascinating, because I'm sure those Olympic athletes suffer from a whole lot of stress, and they're probably, especially the hockey players, are bigger than the average person as well. I couldn't imagine
our nervous system is so stimulated, right?
Yeah,
it's not just the
always.
stress, it's the body stress, but mostly it's a subconscious emotional stress.
Yeah.
Right. And not to mention the stimulation from your phone and stuff.
Oh, dude.
We are tracking animals, right? When things move, we track. What if it's something that I can eat, you know? So all these tracking that go on hours for us overwhelms our nervous system, right? So we need some quiet time, literally to unplug.
Yeah. Like from everything.
Yeah, unpack and reset.
Yeah, everything,
Yeah.
like including gravity. It's wild.
So
That's
the more we are familiar with being quiet,
yeah.
the better we are getting there. On the other hand, the less familiar we are with being quiet
Hmm.
or relaxed because we're responsible. Like it's very typical. I call the single mother, practically single mother syndrome.
Hmm.
People with PTSD who are in wars or emergency vehicle people, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you're not allowed to turn off because of some long-term responsibility that is beyond you,
Yeah.
the nervous system gets stuck in that stress state.
Hmm.
And it's very hard to rev down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the most effective way, in my opinion, is Watsu because it gets you to be that quiet space
Hmm.
again.
Yeah.
I'm not like, let's breathe together and guide you in this meditation, right?
Nah.
Those people have a hard time meditating. I'm forcing you and disorienting you in the most
Hmm.
loving and gentle way,
Yeah.
that state.
Yeah. You are literally forced to relax.
You are.
I
You,
mean,
you are tricked to relax.
yeah, it's not a trick. You sign up for it. It's not a trick at all.
Yeah, it's not like you consciously need to control your mind muscle to meditate.
Mm,
It's like it does not, there's no learning curve.
mm, mm. You just let it go. You let it go and let it flow.
You have to. You don't know where it's up, down, left, right. You
Yeah.
have to let go.
You
And
make
it's so much more fun.
you
So
make
much more fun to be a mermaid, a seaweed, an otter, right? Than to pants out.
I want to do Watsu now, damn it. I want to do Watsu.
Right? And the importance of water for knowing your trauma is when you're in the water, there's no need to tense up,
No.
right? So
Yeah.
whatever that tension you have is subconscious,
That's real.
right?
That's
When
real.
we go to sleep, our conscious go down and our subconscious mind go up, right?
Hmm.
So basically, I put you horizontal, you're starting to go to sleep, and
Hmm.
subconsciously, whatever you're holding, it's your subconscious holding pattern.
Do you ever get to the root cause of things? Like,
Every single time I try. So my session, unlike other Watsu practitioners'
uh-huh.
session, is I have 1 hour of Watsu.
Hmm.
This 1 hour, I see it as a preparation for the mind and the body to go to the next 30 minutes integration. Then
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you like weird questions, like, what do you notice, right?
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I noticed my neck is so tight, right?
Hmm.
I noticed something weird. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I noticed like, why am I not bending my leg or my leg is does not want to bend? Like you notice something weird. It's like,
Hmm.
I'm in water, there's no need to hold this tension.
Hmm.
And then we'll investigate the story. And there's a lot of crying, EFT, and you discover your own story.
So wait a second. You turn from doing Watsu to kind of turning from using the Socratic method for a bit of therapy.
Yeah, it's a somatic coaching.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be, it doesn't have to be sexual abuse or
No.
trauma like this, right? It could be
Mm.
it's like, oh yeah, my neck is like, it's holding a lot, right? And it was
Hmm.
like athlete level soccer player.
Hmm.
So it was not a trauma. It's just a habit that, oh, my coach taught me that when the ball is, I don't know what you call it when you headbutt the ball.
Yeah,
Um, it's
heading it. Yeah,
I need to brace my neck and this whole thing, right?
yeah.
Then over time, all this training, he's subconsciously holding that the whole time,
Right,
right?
right.
Now that awareness is golden,
Exactly.
right?
Uh-huh.
Then it's like every time I'm awake, conscious, I'll say, oh, I'm holding it. Okay, relax. Now,
Yeah,
through repetition, right? You build a new neural pathway that your default mode will become relaxed because now you're aware you're holding it for nothing.
right. And that awareness, that's going to help somebody in the long run too. And that's where the shift in the belief or the parasympathetic nervous system happens right there.
That's when you make a choice. Do you want to keep it could be an anger, it could be it,
It could be a limiting belief.
yes, it could be, yes. Then you make a choice. Do you want to keep that limiting belief? Because
Hmm.
I'm going to help you with what's the cost, right?
Right.
Because after like you feel so loved and your body feels so great, you have no noise. You're in a state that is very open to learning.
Yeah.
It's like, what else can I do to feel even better?
Yeah. For a elongated period too. I want to feel better all the time. You know what I mean? So how can I feel
Right.
this way all the time? You know?
Yes. And you're in such a good state that your nervous system has the capacity to
Yeah.
get in touch with some learning that is too painful. For example, your shadow,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have the capacity to talk about it now. But before it was like too
Ooh.
overwhelming. Let's just run away, like too much,
That's awesome.
right?
That's life-changing right there.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that feeling of feeling safe enough to be vulnerable out in the open space away from the water. That's life-changing because then they
Mhm.
can actually take an even deeper step, another step towards healing even more.
Yes.
Damn.
Right?
Okay. All right then, Diana.
You
Okay.
can be more honest with yourself. And I think that's the key. Are you emotionally honest to yourself?
Mm,
And when you are, you realize a lot of truth.
yeah.
That you go around the garden and exhausting yourself to get something very simple.
Yeah. And you can also, and there's also a choice to be made.
Yes.
There's a choice to be made on whether you want to keep things the same or whether you want to change.
Yes. And I never forced anyone. I was just thanked by a client
Mm-hmm.
that she actually say, thank you for letting me come to the conclusion. It's like over a period of time. It's not like within 1 hour. It's within months of her suffering. I saw it, kind of knew it, but that suffering fed her some needs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, of
That she
course.
was not ready. She doesn't have enough of a good state to let that go yet. It served her. So, if you need to smoke, continue to smoke until you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like smoke without guilt,
Yeah. Be you, do you. And,
Yeah.
and also like there's an awareness there. And with the awareness, you have that opportunity to make a different choice. And you know what? I also think that with a difference of consciousness, you will make that different choice sooner or later. That lady had a shift in consciousness about who she wanted to be, about her identity that she decided to go ahead and change.
Yes,
That's huge.
it is.
Ah,
I got
Diana.
huge stuff happening a lot.
Well, me and you both, and that's why you're here on the Drop Your Baggage podcast. Because on the Drop Your Baggage podcast, we're not just talking to people that are dope that can give you hope, but we also show you a technique that can help you cope. And that technique is called the mental and emotional release process. Now, I have to make sure that I let you know that I am not a psychologist, I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a social worker. I am a self-talk engineer that specializes in neuro linguistic programming, and I help people heal mostly with the mental and emotional release process. Now, today, you are going to be healing, you are going to be releasing the limiting belief that I am not worthy of love.
Yes.
And you said that you first felt this when you were born. And you were
Yeah,
like first.
I am backtracking.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't
No, go ahead. Tell me that
know.
story that you just told me.
Yeah. Well, my mom actually told me multiple times. I don't know why, but I was born in a taxi.
Mm-hmm.
I was born like 11 o'clock at night. So, but I didn't make it to the hospital to come out to the world. I was born in a taxi. And the first thing my mom said when she saw me was, oh, it's a girl again.
Yeah. And that just was like,
Not felt very welcome.
yeah. And that feeling must have like been throughout. Oh, so how is that affecting you today?
Today, I project when you do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I work on it a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still have it in me that when you do certain thing, I project as you don't love me.
Got it. Right. So you just feel it right away. Like you said, you project. So therefore, like it's not you, it's not what somebody else is saying, it's what you're thinking somebody else is thinking.
Yes. Like my husband will say, oh, you're projecting, right? It becomes more and more subtle as I work on it more.
Good.
But I realize that it's still there.
I got you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, this is perfect because you're in Watsu and the hydrotherapy practice. So the mind body connection is very prevalent with you. Let's go with the mind-body connection. When you think about the limiting belief that I'm not worthy of love, where do you feel it in your body?
I feel it here, like
Where? In your like solar plexus?
um,
In your gut?
it's like in between my on the right side, in between my hips and my spine on the front.
And can you name me, besides you first being born, when are two other events where you felt like you weren't worthy of love that are kind of like strong and prevalent? You don't have to like go into the story.
Yeah. Okay. One time was when I realized that my older sister got $1 a day, and I like as pocket money, and
Hmm.
I only got random cents very rarely.
Hmm.
You want the younger one or recent one?
It could be more recent.
More recent is when it's when my daughter said yesterday that she'll move out if I'm charging her the same like market rate for her rent.
Gotcha. I will ask about these events later on. Okay. One more thing, that feeling in between your hips and your spine in the front, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you think about I'm not worthy of love, how strong is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I can definitely feel it. It's like a 2 to 3.
2 to 3. So it's not strong at all in the body.
No,
Gotcha.
I can
Okay.
feel it.
But you can't feel it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But you've been doing so much work on it. That's
Yeah.
good that you don't feel it.
But I have something that triggered yesterday, right? That's my daughter thing. So good
So
timing. Thanks for the free thing.
you say what?
Thanks for the free session. I have something that moving out comment was yesterday. Yeah, so I have some big emotional event yesterday, so
it's
very
perfect.
timely. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's get it. For you to have a profound experience right here, right now, all you have to do are 3 things. Number 1, you got to use your imagination. Number 2, you got to follow directions just like you follow a good recipe or Google Maps. And number 3, you got to trust the process. Know that I'm your guide and I'll be leading you through this easily and effortlessly. And I come from a place of love and high vibrations. Now, there's 2 things that I suggest that you do throughout the process. Number 1, you got to forgive. You got to forgive your mom and your parents and your daughter. And then number 2, you got to empower yourself. You have to empower yourself. Know how lovable you are and why you're so lovable, why you're so amazing. I mean, you heal people all day, every day. You know what I mean? But like just your heart and your being, like that's something that has to be realized by you. Yeah. All right. Now, first and foremost, we have to create a timeline. So with your timeline, your past can be to your left, to your right, or behind you. If you were to know, where's your past?
Behind me.
Where's your future?
In front of me.
Awesome. Now, it's only one question I got to ask. Is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to release this limiting belief that I'm not worthy of love today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, with that, you can go ahead and close your eyes and relax and let me know when you're ready for the process.
Now.
Awesome. Now, we're going to go ahead and have you start to use your imagination and follow directions. So just imagine floating outside of your body as if though you were spirit or energy. And just imagine seeing yourself right here, right now, from a third person point of view. See the table, or I'm sorry, the television behind you, your tank top, your glasses. See the computer in front of you. Just see yourself like a fly on the wall. Let me know when you can see yourself.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and float behind you into the past and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past above that first event in which you thought that limiting belief that I'm not worthy of love when you were just a little baby, when you were just being born in that taxi. And just see that event, hover over that event from a bird's eye view, seeing it kind of like a fly on the wall. Let me know when you can see that whole event. Take your time. Awesome. Now, just stay right there, high above the event, observing the event. And as you observe it, looking at your mom and yourself and the taxi driver, just ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which that will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. This is an exercise of forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiveness for yourself and others, and acceptance of yourself and others. Who do you have to forgive? What do you have to accept? Who do you have to accept?
Mm,
Now,
Mom,
hold on. Just stay right there. Hold on. Now, just observe the event. Take in the lessons, take in the learnings. Have empathy and compassion for everyone in the event. Make sure to empower that baby girl. Pour love into her. And as you observe the event, focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. Once again, hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser and learn from other people's actions and mistakes. Other people's actions have nothing to do with you. It's only a reflection of their baggage and their consciousness and whatever that's going on at the time. Once again, other people's actions have nothing to do with you. It's only a reflection of their baggage and their consciousness and whatever that's going on at the time. And we're better people than we were when those events occurred. You're a better person than you were when those events occurred. You're stronger. You're wiser. What is something positive and empowering you can tell that little baby and your mom and everyone else involved in the event with the consciousness that you have today that will allow the emotions to evaporate like water on the concrete on a hot summer day? And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Just let me know when they're all gone. Take your time. Stay high above the event. And as you observe the event, staying high above the event, ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which that will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. That's right. That's right. Be sure to empower that little baby and stay high above that first event right there at that taxi. Focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser and learn from other people's actions and mistakes. Other people's actions have nothing to do with you. It's only a reflection of their baggage and their consciousness and whatever that's going on at the time. And we're better people than we were when those events occurred. You're a better person than you were when those events occurred. You're stronger. You're wiser. What is something positive and empowering that you can tell that baby girl and your mom and everyone else involved in the event with the consciousness that you have today that will allow the emotions to evaporate like water on the concrete on a hot summer day. And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Just let me know when they're all gone.
no.
Awesome. Now keep your eyes closed and continue to observe the event and tell me, what are some of the lessons that you learned?
Mom was insecure. She needs a boy to secure her status in the family. Mom was not treated well by grandma and my dad.
That's right. What about that little girl?
She is pure and she has nothing to do with anything.
That's right. Do you forgive your mom?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and float behind you into the past and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past, above the dinosaurs during the prehistoric age. Let me know when you're above the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, as you're above the dinosaurs, just imagine floating into space and float deeper and deeper and deeper into space to where space and the atmosphere connects. And imagine your timeline is the size of a fingernail. Let me know when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating there, weightless, in space, and ask yourself now, where are the emotions? Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
The spot feels empty now. It doesn't feel the tension anymore.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and flow behind you into the past and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past above the dinosaurs during the prehistoric age. Let me know when you're there.
No.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating into space and float deeper and deeper and deeper into space to where space and the atmosphere connects. And imagine your timeline is the size of a fingernail. Let me know when you're there.
No.
Now, just imagine floating there, weightless, in space, and ask yourself now, where are the emotions? Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
They disappeared.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating down inside the event. Sink your own eyes as a little baby girl and check on the emotions. Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now,
They're gone.
awesome. Now, just imagine floating back above the dinosaurs and then floating to space to where space and the atmosphere connects. Let me know when you're there.
Yes.
All right, listen closely. Float very, very high above your timeline, above each and every event in which you felt as though I'm not worthy of love. From birth until now, in chronological order. Don't skip one event that has a charge on it. Preserve the learnings and let go of that limiting belief all the way back to now. Go. And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Just let me know when they're all gone.
Gone.
All gone?
Yes.
Float down into your body and open your eyes when you're ready.
I see a boat sinking into the water during the gone part.
During the what part?
The last gone part,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a boat sinking into the water
Mm.
when I was going.
I wonder what that symbolizes.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of image this time. Usually I don't.
I mean, you got the imagination is sparking right now.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to think of some image, but it just came a lot of images.
Well, I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, your brain needed to go wherever it needed to.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome back. How you feel?
I feel like a lightness in that area that I describe as emptiness. It's like not the
Tenseness that you had earlier.
yeah. I was really in a hypnotized state.
You felt like you were kind of like in a relaxed kind of trancey type of state.
Yeah, like sleeping and then come back a little bit and then
I saw you were kind of nodding.
yeah, very good.
Very good. It's all on you. You did it. I didn't do anything.
The dinosaur was really good.
Yeah, that's the dinosaur or the space.
Space was good too.
Yeah, but you like the dinosaur too.
I like the dinosaur too.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Let's cover the whole time gamut, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very good. All right. So
Thank you.
my pleasure, of course. My pleasure. But do you smell biscuits?
Biscuits? Do I smell biscuits?
Mm-hmm.
At this moment, no. Are you
Okay.
baking?
No. I say that to get your mind off the meditation. So
Oh,
your sense of our sense of smell is one of the strongest senses.
I see.
Yeah. So you think of something, you're like, it gets your mind off the meditation. Anyway, can you remember a time in the past in which you used to feel that old emotion? And go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot. Okay.
A time in the past that I feel that old emotion.
And go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot.
Yeah, no, I don't actually feel like going there. Like I don't. It's not like I'm resisting going there. Like I'm not finding it. Yeah, I feel a lot lighter. Like even on the same, I'm trying to find the strongest trigger, which is yesterday with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel I don't feel the strength there.
Awesome.
I feel quite peaceful about it.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah. All right. And okay. Now, I want you to go out into the future to an unspecified time in the future in which, if the same thing would have happened in the past, you would have felt as though I'm not worthy of love. But it's the future now. So see if you can find that old emotion, or you may find that you cannot. Okay.
Yeah, I find pretty stable. I'm imagining what if my daughter say that thing to me again. It's like, okay. Like she has her own reason, right?
Of course.
And I don't really freaking care.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You have just released a bunch of your limiting belief that I'm not worthy of love.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So
it's so good to experience you. I didn't know about this part. Like, I think you mentioned something about a healing for me or something. This is right.
Yeah, I think like we got the date, but I think I didn't go into the part about this part right here. So thank you so much for being for the improvisation of it all.
Thank you.
Yeah, and plus, didn't you listen to the podcast before and you like heard about this part?
I didn't listen to the end. So randomly going to the front part of everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this happened at the end of every part.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. I like it.
Hits the
Yeah,
Drop Your
thank you.
Baggage podcast. Drop a little baggage. So you said that that tenseness in your stomach, that was just a two. You said there was an emptiness now.
Yeah, like I don't feel that tension. Yeah.
Yeah.
As if somebody's strangling you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that there's an emptiness there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it filled with any other like emotion or feeling?
No,
Just emptiness.
pretty neutral.
Love it. That's a release right there. That's a good ass release.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go to some of the events. So how do you feel about what happened when you were first born?
I feel like an observer of it. I feel pretty neutral about it. Yeah.
Much different than before, huh?
Yeah. It's like, it's still sad that my mom needed that.
Yeah.
But it's not like heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like what you said earlier, like it was about her. You were pure, you know what I mean? And whatever was going on around you had nothing to do with you.
Yeah. Like I feel pretty neutral about that baby. And that baby is a lot less sad. I don't see it as like a sad baby. It's just, it's a nice baby.
Nice baby. I love it.
Yeah. Born in the Texas.
That's very neutral, very observant. That's it. Just baby born in a taxi. That's it. I love it. What about that moment where you realized that your older sister got $1 a day?
I don't feel not worthy. I feel like she was born at the right time. She was the first girl of my granddad has 3 wives, and she was the first girl. They all have sons for some reason. Yeah.
So it's like she just.
I could have born in the right time, right?
You say what?
I could have born, as my sister time. Like we could have switched, right? It's not me. It's she came at the right time to get that $1 a day.
That's right. She got the benefits of being the first.
Yeah. It's not me or her. It's right timing.
I love it. It's kind of like an acceptance. I love it. And you talked briefly earlier about your daughter and what she said about moving out. How do you feel about it now?
I feel a lot more detached from making up a bigger thing from it. It's like, yeah, she's shocked. Like Vancouver is expensive and she want to move out and it's her need to be free.
It's not, once again, it's not about you. It's about what her mindset is.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Like it doesn't change my feeling toward her.
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's like it's more than that, but it's like she chose strawberry instead of chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
More than that, but it's like felt like that. This is what she's going through now.
And also realizing that she'll go through something else later on in the future, and that also has nothing to do with you as well.
Yes, I feel pretty fucking solid about myself right now.
Yeah. How was that part? Okay. Let's go into that. How was it empowering yourself throughout that timeline? How was that?
I really love this kind of a travel. Like I don't have to worry about what time machine or like what transportation mode I am. I'm like going through space and stuff. Like I really like this. Like when I realized, oh, okay, I am sleeping and oh, I'm not sleeping. I was hypnotized before, but I'm very gullible. Like I'm very suggestible. Like it's I really enjoy the space travel. And I felt safe with you to suggest things into my brain. And it's a very good deal,
Yeah.
Right? I have a vacation and then I come back a solid person.
Right.
Right? I have a vacation in space and then visit the dinosaurs. A few things I have. This is really nice. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So like, what did you say to yourself throughout the timeline to help empower yourself?
I was just observing and following you. Gotcha. Like I really feel safe following you.
Thank you.
I wasn't trying to, do my thing.
Well, I mean, as long as you As long like was there a common theme throughout the timeline for you?
A common theme.
Like throughout all the events that you had to go through?
What I felt is the fading of that body sensation,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I felt like you're like a tour guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's a very nice tour, and it's a nice story.
Mm-hmm.
Like a nice tour need to have a nice tour guide with nice story.
Mm-hmm.
You make
Mm-hmm.
up, like you rewrote my story. Thank you.
Honestly, I think you rewrote it, if anything, because I really don't know where you went. You know what I mean? And which
You didn't know where
events,
I went. You guided me there.
well, the events that you went to in your timeline. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Like you had to go to different events in your timeline. So I'm not sure like where you went. I just reminded you of like, I guess human experiences. Hurt people hurt people. We're all
yeah.
doing the best that we can, Other people's actions aren't about you and that you're a better person. Like those are all kind of general things that happen as far as the human experience.
Yeah. Hurt people was very good. At
Yeah.
first, I don't know what you're talking about. And then when I realized, like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, very much so. And
Yeah.
we had just talked about it before, and then you just reiterated it in your mind. Because we had talked about like anxiety from parents to children. And we were like, oh, hurt people, and heal people.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you went ahead and applied it into your story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a nice journey. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Is,
Well,
is there anything that, like, for people that have never experienced this before, what can you tell them about this experience that you haven't already said?
what can I tell them? It's like you go very far in such a short time. You don't have to get yourself wet. You don't have to ruin your hair, and you feel much lighter. Like it's not just that spot, but the whole body feel much lighter
Mhm.
and feel more peaceful. I feel less afraid of the life ahead of me, that I don't have to exhaust myself to be lovable, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's that baby and it's me and it's someone doing something, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's that neutrality of my view. It's very nice.
Mhm.
It's like sometimes you go for a tour, you don't always come back happy,
Mhm.
right? But this is a tour that like you come back to earth happy. That's what I would say. It's like the opposite of going to Vegas. You come back depressed.
Hey, hell yeah. I just came from Vegas, so I totally know what you mean.
Oh yeah,
Hell
right.
yeah.
But
Yes.
this one, you have a new reality that is very nice. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. Diana, you are officially a baggage dropper.
Score.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. It was so
Now take
fun.
me to another planet next time, will you?
You said,
Hey,
got
you
you.
take me to another planet, I'll take you underwater. It's like another thing.
It's so funny. Hey, okay, so people can see everything that you're about over at watsu.ca, yes?
Yeah.
Yep. And what's your Instagram again?
It's at Watsu, Canada.
At Watsu Canada.
Mm.
Please, hey, y'all, go check her out. If you're over in Vancouver, go check her out. I think you're on like some of I read a blog that you're on like one of the weirdest things or the things that you can do when you're bored in Canada, in
Yeah,
Vancouver.
yeah.
Yeah.
The website is board in Canada and
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
unique activities. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I love that. I love that blog. Hey, you're awesome. Thank you so much for just coming
Thank
on to this.
you.
My pleasure, Diana. And thank you all in the audience. Thank you all for your time and attention. I love you all so much. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, please, please go ahead and smash that like button and share this with a friend. And if you're on a podcast platform, give a brother 5 stars and some feedback as well. Right here on the show where we talk to people that are dope, that can give you hope and show you a technique that can help you cope. I'm your host, the self-talk engineer, Charles Woolfork. That's Diana Cheng. And we are out of here, you all. Take care of yourself and take care of one another. Peace.